several states that have started or are working to approve rebate payments or inflation relief checks to taxpayers in 2022 and 2023. Gavin Newsom and state lawmakers have agreed to send millions of Californians inflation relief checks as high as $1,000. The payments, which are coming out of California's $97 billion budget surplus, will go out as direct deposits or debit cards by 2023. The Sacramento Bee reported that the first payments going out as October were for single taxpayers who earn less than $75,000 a year and couples who file jointly and make less than $150,000 a year. They will receive a $350 per taxpayer and another $350 if they have any dependents. A married couple with children therefore could receive as much as $1,000. State residents of Colorado who have filed their 2021 return by June 30th will get a check for $750 by September, while joint filers will get $1,500. Filers who receive an extension and file by the October 17th deadline will receive the refund by January 31st, 2023. The Delaware governor also signed a bill in April approving $300 stimulus checks to residents who filed their 2020 taxes. Now, if they file jointly, each person receives one of the payments, which started going out in May. The Georgia governor also signed a bill in March authorizing rebates to taxpayers who have filed their state returns for both 2020 and 2021. Single taxpayers can receive $250, with heads of households getting $375, and married couples filing jointly netting around $500. Partial year residents or individuals who owe income tax may receive a smaller rebate as well. And the Hawaii residents who earned under $100,000 in 2021 will get a $300 tax rebate this year, with dependents eligible for the rebate as well. Individuals who earn more than $100,000 and couples who earn more than $200,000 will receive $100 total. Senate Democrats look toward making a new reconciliation package, as Chuck Schumer has already submitted language to the Senate parliamentarian for a proposal to allow Medicare to influence prescription prices. The last time Democrats tried to move forward with a large reconciliation bill, it was shot down by Joe Manchin, who felt it was too costly at a time when the country was already dealing with significant inflation.
I'm responsible for it, and he took action against those who were responsible, and then I went on to talk more about how that dealing with any opposition to or criticism of the Saudi administration in other countries was viewed as, to me, a violation of human rights.
Sir, two quick questions, if I may. First, we just heard from Jamal Khashoggi's wife, who said, after this visit, the blood of MBS's next victim is on your hands. What do you say to Mrs. Khashoggi?
I'm sorry she feels that way. I was straightforward back then. I was straightforward today. This is a meeting, I didn't come here to meet with the Crown Prince. I came here to meet with the GCC and 9 nations to deal with the security and the needs of the free world, and particularly the United States, and not leave a vacuum here, which was happening as it has in other parts of the world.
On gas prices, if I may, you said that we'll see relief at some point in the not too distant future. What is the message to Americans who are looking for that relief now? When should they expect to see a real change in prices, though they've already been coming down? They've already been coming down.
That's right. They've been coming down every single day, to the best of my knowledge.
When will we see the impact of this visit?
I suspect you won't see that for another couple weeks. And we'll see more when we see gas stations start to lower their price consistent with what they're paying for the oil.
Mr. President, do you regret calling the Saudis a pariah?
I don't regret anything I said.
Do you still feel that way, though, Mr. President?
I just answered your question. Do I regret it? I don't regret anything that I said. What happened to Khashoggi was outrageous.
Mr. President?
Yes.
You're coming under a lot of fire for your fist bump with the Crown Prince. Why? I just wanted to give you a chance to respond to that. But also, how can you be sure that another incident, another murder like Jamal Khashoggi's won't happen again?
Well, God love you. What a silly question. How could I possibly be sure of any of that? I just made it clear. If anything occurs like that again, they'll get that response and much more. Look, you've heard me say before, when I criticized Xi Jinping for slave labor and what they're doing in the western mountains of China, and they said I had no right to criticize China, and I said, look, I am President of the United States of America. For the United States President to remain silent on a clear violation of human rights is totally inconsistent with who we are, and what we would do, what we believe. And so I'm not going to remain silent. Can I predict anything's going to happen? Let alone here, let alone any other part of the world? No. But I don't know why you're all so surprised the way I react. No one's ever wondered that I mean what I say. The question is I sometimes say all that I mean.
And what about your response to the fist
On the issue of climate, Joe Manchin obviously made significant news right now, which appears to be torpedoing what was one of your...
Folks, we have a ton of good news about the fourth stimulus check, Social Security benefits, SSI, and SSDI. Now millions of senior citizens and Social Security recipients will be seeing a big boosted increase to their monthly benefit payments. Lawmakers are proposing a new bill that would actually help Social Security beneficiaries financially. Now, here's some big news for those of you that receive Social Security benefits. Seniors and other people who rely on Social Security benefits could next year see the biggest cost of living adjustment since 1981, with an advocacy group for older Americans forecasting an 8.6% hike. So the typical monthly Social Security check is around $1,658, which means beneficiaries could see an increase of $142 per month in early 2023, bringing the average check to about $1,800. This new forecast is from the Senior Citizens League. That projection is based on the most recent U.S. inflation numbers, including the government's release on Wednesday of Consumer Price Index data for April. Mary Johnson, the Social Security policy analyst, has said that the Social Security's cost of living adjustment is based on slightly different basket of goods and services that is also tracked by the government. That, friends, is CPIW, which is known as the Consumer Price Index for urban wage earners. An 8.6% jump in monthly Social Security checks could provide some relief to millions of seniors struggling to keep pace with surging costs for everything from gas to groceries. The 69 million Americans who collected Social Security received a 5.9% COLA increase in January. This could be the biggest bump since 1982. But inflation has climbed well above that figure in 2022, eroding many seniors' purchasing power. But the Social Security administrations will set the 2023 COLA in October based on the 3 previous months of inflation data, which means the actual rate hike could be somewhat different from the Senior Citizens League forecast. More seniors are relying on food banks and stamps as their buying power erodes, with the group surveys finding that 45% of respondents in January reported relying on these resources to secure food. That is double the rate in October. What are your thoughts on this, everybody? Tell me in the comments. A federal benefits program for blind, disabled, and elderly individuals could get a long overdue update if a proposal in Washington is approved. 2 senators from Ohio have teamed up to introduce a bill to update the Social Security, to update the Supplemental Security Income programs, and the rules for how much money beneficiaries can have set aside. SSI was created by Congress in 1972. The Senator's bills, called the SSI Savings Penalty Elimination Act, was introduced on Thursday. SSI provides